Whenever we hear about this part of the world, everyone refers to Asia, ASIA, or ASEAN. But recently I heard about AseanAffairs, the voice of ASEAN, meaning ASEAN. Important to differentiate because obviously ASEAN also has a voice, and a very large voice. So much so that an entrepreneur who's made Thailand his base has decided to set up various means of communication, or, as he says, the voice of ASEAN. I'm very pleased to welcome the founder and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. S. Roy. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, Valerie.
Now, the voice of ASEAN. This is the first time that we've ever seen a publication or something on the web about ASEAN. It seems so obvious now we see it. How did you actually start this particular program?
Well, some time back, we were thinking of. In fact, in my career in the media, I have had always requests from or requests for information on ASEAN from various quarters, from various embassies, governments, industries, saying where can we find information on this block of 10 countries, which are the member nations of ASEAN, in one place.
So when you actually say you actually did your research, you talk to people both within ASEAN, outside of ASEAN, because you might have 40 years and 10 countries, but that's not, the communication shouldn't be just for ASEAN members. It needs to be on a global basis too. So the whole world is your oyster.
Oh, you're right, actually. In fact, the most of the requests for information came to me from non-ASEAN countries, like the British community, the American, the European Union, Russia, India, China. Because if you look in the recent past, the developments in ASEAN, most of these countries have been engaging ASEAN. All of them have been trying to engage ASEAN very, very seriously, because they look at ASEAN as one of the, in fact, I would like to put it this way, it's a very successful trade bloc compared to many other trade blocs in the world. Of course, it has a long way to go. But in terms of numbers, for example, consider the numbers. It's a population of 500 million, with a combined GDP maybe in excess of $2 trillion.
When you actually look at the moment, you've actually been, let's call it on air, or you've been on the net since the beginning of January.
That's right.
But I've been seeing some of the dialogue you've been having with people who are asking for their comments, and they're coming back, and it's all very positive.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You see, when we came up with the idea, we did the research on the web and talked to the ASEAN Secretariat, to the other nations in the ASEAN region. We found there was no such publication. That's when we started working on the basic concept. During those times, I must tell you that we are very lucky to have a very excellent team of journalists, editors, writers, based in the region, outside the region, who are very passionate about this whole concept of ASEAN affairs.
And they know firsthand.
And they are observers and in this region who've been there for decades old. So their experience, combined experience, is massive.
And you also, as I understand it, went to the Secretary General, went to the head of ASEAN and said, you know, this is what we're going to do, and they welcomed you with open arms.
Yes, I mean, I was in Indonesia a few months back, and I did visit the Secretariat at Jakarta of the ASEAN Secretariat. Unfortunately, Ong Kong Yang, the Secretary General, was away at the time to Vietnam to attend the APEC summit. So I did submit an official letter from ASEAN Affairs informing them about our intention to launch a publication which would be connecting ASEAN to the world. And we got a feedback from the head of public affairs shortly saying, you have our best wishes to go ahead, and in any way we can support you in terms of news, information, you are free to contact us.
Right, so you started off with the web, which is AseanAffairs.com. Very easy, ASEAN, ASEAN, affairs.com. You also,
or you can go to Google now and check it out.
Yahoo and Google both?
Yeah, you can go both.
Very good. That says you've made it.
That's right.
What about, you have other plans to actually have a publication later in the year?
That's right. We, when we were in the initial stages thinking about the format of and the medium of creating this publication, we actually first thought we'll go with print and then web supporting it. But we suddenly realized that our market is so vast. In fact, Europe, Americas, as I said, all those countries. To reach out instantly through any printed publication is quite nigh impossible. The best and the fastest way would be to go online first, make it online portal, a news information portal And of course, down the road, we're going to give value-added information in terms of directories on ASEAN, on information that investors, businessmen seek on ASEAN that will be available. So that was the first step. The second step, we thought, of course, we should also have a printed publication. So we are thinking at this moment to have quarterly AseanAffairs magazine, which we are now working on. And it will be subscriber based, which we will then have the medium of our website to announce.
Well, we wish you every success. We hope you'll come back and talk to us regularly on the program. We're going to be working together. In fact, it's AseanAffairs.com, and we suggest you go in there every day. It's an interesting web, lots of information. If you forget whatever reason, go into Google then ASEAN Affairs, and you'll be updated on what's happening in ASEAN. Thank you again, Roy.
Thank you very much, Valerie.
Thank you.
Thank you indeed.
We'll now go to Johan, who's talking about a one-stop service for roofing solutions. Well, the rain's over, but it'll be coming later in the year. Now's the time to check it out.